Call Halayimla, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule and teach well. To the hopeful elect, the brothers pushing this truth, Shalom. Now, this is just going into how the U.S. is just a big fat joke. I was looking at some videos. I didn't find the specific one I wanted, but I still found a good one where they were comparing, excuse me, military ads um of the US and Russia. Now Russia's military ad was some stereotypical things you would see in a military ad. So men in shape in a boarding room, alarm goes off, they're getting up, they're getting suited for, combat training or briefings or whatever. And then it showed the US military ad, showed women in combat, showed a woman, and she had two mothers. All right. So that goes to show you how much of a joke the US is, because what makes the country truly and protects the country is the military. And the US military is pretty much promoting the alphabet lifestyle. And you had what was it? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It was like, I don't know, secretary officer. Let me see. Find it real quick. Dr. Rachel Levine sworn in as country's first openly transgender 4-star officer. The US is a joke. And the main video that I wanted to find, I don't want to Ratazak and find it again, was, I seen it a few months ago. It was, I think, China or Russia or North Korea. It was one of those three countries. They were mocking the US for having that alphabet lifestyle military, because the US military is a joke. People pretty much join the military to get a Hellcat, a Scat Pack, Camaro, right? You see the memes, they're true. That's why. And then you'll have women join the military because, you know what I'm saying, they're harlots. So they 304s. It's pathetic. And I seen a video of this chick. She was talking about, because it was some event that happened that kind of struck fear in the people in the military, that they're actually going to be in combat, because people here are real comfortable. Let's get a scripture on the U.S. being comfortable. And basically, she was saying she didn't sign up for the military to go to war. What? You see how delusional specifically Babylonians are, and the women, you understand, are the worst of the worst. Isaiah 47. Let's go to the 47th chapter. Isaiah the 47th chapter, verse 1. Come down, sit in the dust, and that goes into confusion. O virgin daughter of Babylon, because the United States of America, which is Babylon the Great, has never been invaded to this day. What's today? October the 4th, 2022. Babylon the Great has not been invaded. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. So Babylon the Great is going to be taken down from authority over the planet Earth. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Yeah, because that it's going to be raining nukes over here. You're going to have these other heathen nations invading Babylon the Great, slaughtering Jake and these Babylonians. Verse 2. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. And that's mainly going into how over here in Babylon the Great, Esau, which is the ruler of Babylon, Psalms 130, the 137th chapter, he was over here just tormenting Jake, using Jake to make and create Babylon the Great. If it wasn't for Jake, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, there would be no America. In the Moors, which are Israelites, so-called blacks, established the 13 colonies, but through prophecy, the Edomites took over and reigned supreme here in Babylon the Great, which then in turn spread throughout the whole entire globe. Verse 3: Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Yet Yahweh Shai is coming for that vengeance. Isaiah the 63rd chapter. Verse 4: As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Yasharallah. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Verse 6: I was wroth with my people. The northern and southern kingdom is the only people of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. And you have the speckled bird that descend from those people, but through intermingling with the heathen, they take on the heathen's characteristics. That's why the scriptures tell you, let's get it, about the inheritance of the Most High being as a speckled bird. And then James 1:1 clearly tells you the Israelites were scattered to all nations. Jeremiah 12:9, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her, and those birds are going into you heathens. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Verse 6: I was wroth with my people, I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. We've been in the hand of these Edomites for several hundred years now. Thou didst shew them no mercy. That's right, straight up tormenting Jake. Jake get his own community. Esau come through, rape, murder, pillage, and then burn it down, and then flood it. You know, a lot of places in Babylon the Great where Esau got nice little neighborhoods with rivers on the side. They have their boats. Those areas were so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans communities, specifically so-called blacks communities that they built up. Esau, being the devil that he is, and Jake got no way of defending themselves. They come through, rape, pillage, murder, burn it down, flood it out, flood the whole neighborhood out, and then they build on top of that, and then use the river for playing in, man. That's how wicked Esau is. He shoot us no mercy. Thou didst shew them no mercy, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, put a yoke of iron upon our necks. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things in thine heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. You Edomites think you're gonna reign forever. You're gonna reign forever as a corpse, not even as a corpse, as dirt, because you're not even as dirt, because you're gonna get burnt up. You Edomites are not gonna even coexist, even as dirt on the planet Earth, because you're gonna get burnt up. Neither didst remember the latter end of it. Verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, that thou art given to pleasures, thou dwellest carelessly. Yeah, look at how Babylon the great is. You can go anywhere pretty much through here with no type of clearances, no real borders. People with just pure wickedness, just open. It's open wickedness. Look at they say you can tell the state of a society by looking at the women. Babylon the Great has the worst women in the history of nations. Thou sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, there neither shall I know the loss of children. Verse 9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, thou shalt come upon thee in perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. So Babylon the Great is gonna get destroyed, and then it's gonna be burnt up. It's gonna be nuked off the face of the planet Earth within 1 hour. But you will have Babylon the Great, the U.S. and really the whole world, but mainly talking about Babylon the Great, will be looking apocalyptic before those nukes rain down. It will be doomsday 2008 type vibes over here, all over the planet Earth. But it's going to be the worst here in Babylon the Great because we have a lot of different religions, beliefs, cultures, a lot of different nations mixed in here. And another thing, Russia, just seen a video of Russia going into Russia was going into how they know the US did it, or they believe the US did it. Putin just pretty much said it. He said that the US did it, and then he said the US benefits from the pipe being destroyed. And then afterwards, he said the people who did it are the ones who benefit from it. So he's saying the U.S. did it, and the evidence points at the U.S. doing it. So that goes into, I think, Revelation 16, Revelation 17, and 16. Let's see. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. And that whore is going into Babylon the Great, what we just read in, what was it, Isaiah the 47th chapter, which is the United States of America. Perfect. Revelation 17 and 5, and upon her foreheads was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, which is the daughter of Babylon, the mother of harlots, which is harlot, whore, synonyms, and abominations of the earth. You got the small hats over here. You got the rainbow people over here, and that's a slap in the face of the Most High, having a rainbow as that flag, because that rainbow was a covenant of the Most High to not flood the earth again. You Edomites, Psalms 137 clearly tells us that the Edomites will be the rulers of Babylon the Great. Let's get it. Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. So you Edomites are connected to Babylon the Great, obviously, which are you so-called white people, and you're clearly not white. You're red, like the scriptures tells you would be, because Esau was born red, and Edom literally means red. Literally. Let's get it. Genesis 25 and 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am fate. Therefore was his name called Edom. So Yahweh has a sense of humor, and Yahweh Shai was get and the pottage was red because it was raw. He literally ate raw meat. And you Edomites love raw meat. You eat it raw. You see numerous videos of Esau coming out eating raw meat and say how they like it. As you can see, red. Edomites, Idumean, that's the Greek way of saying Edom. And it literally means red. Because they're red people. You so-called white people are clearly not white. Clearly, when you Edomites wear white, you can clearly see that your skin is red. It's clear as day. There's no mistaking it. There's no mistaking that you Edomites are the Edomites. Just get Jeremiah the 50th chapter. But back with this Russia situation. Russia knows that, and like I said, it could be another country, but regardless if it is or it isn't, it's prophecy for the Europeans, the European nations, NATO, EU, and the UN to turn on the U.S. The, the, the heads, the 10 heads. Let's go back to it. Revelation 17. In verse 5. Verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. So the brothers and the sisters that's in this truth are gonna die in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua by not taking a MOTB in other situations. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and all the beasts that carrieth her, which hath 7 heads and 10 horns. And that 7 heads represents the 7 different nations that Edom had rulership with. And the 10 horns represents the EU. And then the 10 crowns goes into the UN and NATO. And the whole entire thing goes into NATO. All right? But the heads, I think I got a photo. I don't know if I have it on my. I'll do a lesson specifically breaking that down. Verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and mountains represents nations that have rulership. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. There have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. And that goes in the EU, NATO, siding with the US and being backed by the US through NATO, which gives them some type of power and authority. So think of the schoolyard bully and his minions, so to speak. That's a good way to break it down. Now let's go back to verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So the EU, which is, it branched out to multiple different countries now, is gonna hate Babylon the Great. And we see that happening now with the pipeline going out, which last year supplied Europe with just under 50%. So it was 45% of all their gas, their energy. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So all the countries in Europe that have nukes are gonna rain them down on the US. This is Jeremiah 50. I'm gonna scroll down to verse 12. Your mother shall be sore confounded, and that's talking about Great Britain, because the US branched off from Great Britain. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Verse 14. Oh, and another thing, I forget if I mentioned it or not in this video. North Korea launched missiles over Japan, which is truly it's a greater slap in the face for the US than it is for Japan of North Korea launching those ballistic missiles over Japan. Why? Because Japan is allied with the US. Japan is under the US, right? So for North Korea to launch missiles over Japan, North Korea is essentially letting their nuts hang in front of the US. So the US will have to retaliate or do something, right? And if the US retaliates, North Korea, Russia, whatever, China is going to do something to the US. And if the US doesn't retaliate, then North Korea or other countries are still going to do something to the US. So it's still a lose-lose situation for Babylon the Great. Verse 15, shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her as she hath done, do unto her. So the U.S. is gonna get utterly wasted. Even the 2/3 Jakes are gonna get wasted here. Only people that's gonna make it out of here is people that just flee from Babylon the Great before them nukes drop, and the elect getting beamed up out of here. Like even if you in a bunker, you gonna get melted by these nukes. Verse 23. How was the hammer of the whole earth, which is the United States of America? No other country fit these prophecies as Babylon the Great. Cut asunder and broken. How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So Babylon is just gonna keep getting. You see how big of a joke Babylon the Great is now? It's gonna keep getting more of a joke. The military is a joke. The scripture goes into how not just Babylon the Great, but all militaries will be. They gonna turn BITC BITCEES BITCEBITCHES. A sound of battle, verse 23. And how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. That's right, Babylon the Great promotes the Israelites getting oppressed, destroyed, and on the flip side, had the Edomites on top. That's going against the Most High, Yahweh by Shem Shai. The elder shall serve the younger. The Lord hath opened his armory. I was just roughly paraphrasing Esau and Jacob. Verse 25, the Lord Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. Yahweh makes the nuclear weapons. For this is the work of Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. So everything, verse 28, the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahweh, our power, the vengeance of his temple. So the Israelites are going to be praising Yahweh by Shem Shai as these evils come upon the whole entire planet Earth, but specifically Babylon the Great, for all the wickedness that was done to us in his land. Let's keep scrolling down. Verse 36, a sword is upon the liars, you Edomites are the liars, the rest of you heathens in 2/3, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. Let's get the word. Let's go into that word dismayed. Be afraid, to be terrified, to shatter, to break down, either literally by violence or figuratively by confusion and fear. It's going to be both. It's going to be both of those. It's going to be violence and fear for you Edomites and the rest of you heathens. Verse 41. Behold, a people shall come from the north, as going to Russia. A great nation and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. So all these nations, pretty much, if not all nations on the planet Earth, besides the Israelis, are going to go against the Babylon the Great, and many kings that have military might, so to speak, that has the capabilities. And many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, and they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not shew mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array like a man in battle against the old daughter of Babylon. So the U.S. is gonna get jumped, and we see the setup. We see the setup. The U.S. is finna get jumped, man. The U.S. is finna get jumped. 200 million missiles are gonna rain. I mean, it's insane to believe in that, and I believe wholeheartedly in that, man. But it's still insane that I believe in that. 200 million missiles, man. That's like one of the brothers said, man. How the it was one of them. I forget which movies it was, but they one of the generals was like, "My men will blot out the sun with the arrows." So, and those arrows wasn't no 200 million arrows, man. 200 million arrows. So just imagine 200 million missiles just raining on the U.S. That's gonna blot out the sky, literally, man. Literally, it's gonna be ah man, this is gonna be terrifying. This is Jeremiah 51. Actually, let's go to Jeremiah 49. In Russia, going back into Russia, Russia is going to Russia Russia is going to attack the US 100%, either this year, next year, more than likely this year or next year. Russia is going to make a big move on the US for taking out that pipeline. That taking out that pipeline is a very big deal. That pipeline costs $10 million. So Russia, that's an act of war, and they took it out after Russia declared, what was it, partial military, I forgot partial the exact word, but basically they're ramping up their military on the Ukraine, and they threatened the West with nuclear weaponry if they interfere. So what does the U.S. do? They don't interfere directly with Ukraine. They blow up the pipeline. And guess what? Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, said they was gonna take care of the pipeline back in February. Then I believe a secretary or something came out like 2 3 weeks before. I think it was 10 days or something like that before the pipeline got taken out, talking about the pipeline again. So Babylon, and then now you got Esau lying, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. Esau lying, saying that Russia took out the pipeline. Why? It doesn't even make sense for Russia to take out the pipeline. That's like me handing you water, right? I got my faucet. I'm handing you water. Up, I don't want to give you water no more. I cut off my faucet. Why would I destroy my own faucet? And what makes it even more worse that the US is blatantly lying, it was taken out in the part of the Baltic Sea that is guarded by NATO. So how did Russia sneak in without NATO noticing, blow up the pipeline, then sneak out? What? That's how all the fingers are truly pointing at the U.S. And even if no evidence, no concrete, not evidence, no, there's no proof that the U.S. did it. Everybody, specifically Russia, is gonna believe that the U.S. did it. So it doesn't matter. Jeremiah 49:7, concerning Edom, thus said Yahweh of hosts, and Russia is still Edomites. Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But with Esau, let's verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So you Edomites are not going to be able to hide behind the guise of, oh, I'm white or I'm Israeli. The whole world is going to know that you're the wicked, and we see that happening now. Verse 12. And this connects to, I believe, Lamentations 4:21, verse 22. For thus said Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. Assuredly drunken. And that goes into Israel. Israel is not supposed to be in slavery, being that the tail, all right? We're supposed to be on top. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? So you Edomite, you so-called white people, you think you're gonna go unpunished for all the wickedness your forefathers and what you're still doing to this very day. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, Salakia, that Basra shall become a desolation. And Basra was the capital of Edom in the ancient times, and now that applies to Babylon the Great. Shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. Jeremiah verse 14, Jeremiah 49:14. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. So you Edomites are going to start dropping like flies. And we see that despisement is coming about. You Edomites are going to get the side eye and get in the mouth of talkers of these heathens, and it's already starting now, and it's just gonna keep increasing, because you are the wicked. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdeth the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. What is the symbol of the U.S.? I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. Also, Edom shall be. You see, these Edomites have been using the eagle forever. They used it when they were still calling themselves Edom. When they came under the guise of Greeks, they used the eagle. Rome, they used the eagle. Great Britain, the eagle. Germany, so on and so forth. And also, Edom. Let me reread verse 16. I'm gonna start at right here. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, says Yahweh. So when you get to that peak point of what you want, which is that chipping up everybody, that's when the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna rain it down, rain that full force fury. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. So everywhere there's Edomites, people are not gonna want to truly be there. So from New Zealand to Ireland, all the way to Babylon the Great, is gonna be straight up chaos for you Edomites. You Edomites living good. You look what's finna happen in Europe. If that gas doesn't get back on track, there is gonna probably be looking Mad Max there. And it's probably not gonna stop looking Mad Max. It's probably gonna just stay looking Mad Max there. Verse 18, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, that saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son or man dwell in it. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time, and who is the shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So these Israelis, which are the smallest of these Edomites, they're gonna make a move, because they're Amalek, they're the chief tribe of these Edomites. They're gonna bust a move, maybe, just my opinion on Iran, but regardless, they're gonna bust a move, and that's gonna draw all these other Edomites to ramp up even more. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, as the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle, and spread his wings over Bosra. And in that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pain. So they're going to turn to Bitches. So let's go to Jeremiah 51. Before I go to Jeremiah 51, let's go to Luke 21. This is Luke chapter 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So all this evil and these nukes and all these things that's coming on this earth is just the signs, the final pieces for the elect of Israel to be saved out of our bondage under you Edomites, under you so-called white people. You Edomites gotta go down. You see, Jacob and Esau can't rule at the same time. It either has to be Jacob ruling or it either has to be Esau ruling. And we all know through the scriptures, well, people that had a spirit on them to understand, even you Edomites understand that your rulership is not gonna last forever, that you Edomites would rule for a time. Let's get that. Let's get that. Let's go to what was it? Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So you Edomites rulership has already been numbered. It's already been written. It's already laid in prophecy for how long you Edomites are going to rule. And we see that time is coming short. It's coming to an end. Jeremiah 15, Second Esdras 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that goes into pretty much the Mad Max type scenario. What else? The Purge. These apocalyptic scenarios, because people not gonna have no food. There's gonna be mad diseases out here. No food, no water, no 911. Look at Illinois that's coming 2023. And see how it says pride. Babylonians are the most prideful people. You go and specifically you Edomites, you Babylonian Edomites are the most prideful thing walking on the planet Earth right now. As a collective group, Obadiah 1 and verse 9, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So you Edomites not getting no happy ending. Your ending is gonna be pretty much almost everything you've done. Like now we not gonna do no cannibalism or anything that's unlawful, but everything that is lawful we will do to you Edomites. Verse Jeremiah 51 and 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Yasharallah. So these nations, specifically Edomites, think the Most High is not with us. I'm talking about you lower level Edomites, not the elites. They know the deal for the most part. You lower level Edomites that walking around, you think so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans just gonna be low on the low end of the totem pole forever. Verse 6, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in their iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. And that goes into these apocalyptic events. But the main thing that's going into is being saved from that nuclear hellfire. Verse 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. So this is going into the U.S. because there's this Western philosophy, democracy, right? The nations have drunk of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And we see that now. I just watched, was it Iran, that in their parliament, they were all saying death to America. Russia's blatantly saying that they're going to bust a move on America. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, so there's no coming back. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So people are gonna get far away from Babylon the great as possible. Like when you had the pandemic go out, people was going, leaving the U.S., leaving Europe. Ronaldo, one of the most famous athletes on the planet Earth, right when the pandemic busted out, he went to his private island. So just imagine when it starts getting real apocalyptic out here, what people are gonna do. They're gonna run straight to them bunkers. Man, I was watching this movie. Well, I didn't watch the full movie. I saw clips of it on YouTube. I forgot the name of it, but basically every 15 years or so, um, they say God sends these monsters on the planet Earth to keep the population of the Earth, the human population of the Earth, down by sending these crazy demonic monsters on the Earth to kill people. It's gonna be demonic, well, not necessarily demonic, but it's gonna be newly created creatures on the planet Earth to slaughter people. That's in the scriptures. Since I brought it up, let's get it. Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18. Or unknown wild beast. So Yahweh Shemi Shai is gonna have let's keep reading. Full of rage, so they're not coming calm, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy sense of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. So they'll have like heat vision. They're gonna be breathing fire breathing dragons, man. I seen this thing. I forgot the beetle name. It's a beetle. It literally shoots boiling acid out of its rectum. Boiling acid comes out of its rectum, and it shoots it out. I'm gonna repeat. Boiling, BOIL, boiling acid. And is how Bashim Al Shah is going to create newly created creatures having forms of spiritual power to come and slaughter you heathens. So that movie where it said God was sending newly created creatures on the planet Earth, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah is going to send um, these newly created creatures on the planet Earth to slaughter you heathen, you two-thirds, you Edomites. Verse 14, Jeremiah 51 and 14. Yahweh of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, Surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out heaven by his understanding. So Babylon the Great will be invaded. Ezekiel 38. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth, and he maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the winds of his treasures. Now check this out. Verse 19, the portion of Jacob is not like them, because we're the righteous. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the righteous. And in order to take on our blessing, we have to call on the name Yahweh Bashem Shai. For he is the former of all things. Israel, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Romans, the 9th chapter. The Lord, Yahweh of hosts, is his name. Verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. So the Israelites are going to slaughter heathens. The Israelites are going to slaughter heathens. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. And with thee also I will break in pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces old and young. So elderly people get it, newborn babies getting it, it don't matter. They gonna get that work. With thee I will break in pieces the young man and the maid, and I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. So everybody gonna get that work. Verse 24. And I will render to Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. Verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight, they have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed, they become as women. Bitches. They have burned her dwelling places, her bars are broken. So the US, the military, the US as a whole is gonna turn into female dogs, man. I don't want to say it because they be age restricting my videos when I curse too much. But Babylon the Great is gonna just roll over, man. You know, animals roll over and show their bellies when they submit. Babylon the Great is essentially just gonna submit because they're gonna get jumped. They're gonna get jumped by multiple nations. Let's go back to so with Jeremiah 51 through 19 to 24 goes into how the Israelites will have power to get down in Babylon the Great too, because that's where we have been put to shame the most. Let's end that off here. Let's end this video off on that precept. Zephaniah 3:19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. Let's read up a little bit more. Zephaniah 3:13. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. So the Israelites are going to be good, and that mainly going into that second covenant. Now this is verse 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And we've been put to shame the most in Babylon the Great. So we're gonna get down in Babylon the Great with spiritual power. It's gonna be like, just go look at anything that has superpowers in it, man. Everything you can think of. Heat vision, Superman, call El, which just means all power. What does he have? He has the power, heat vision, super strength, super speed, super durability. He can. A lot of people don't realize, but he has ice breath, right? It's gonna be the elect gonna get down. Everybody's gonna get down. The only people that's really not gonna get down for real is these Babylonians. Even the rest of Esau is gonna get down. But here in Babylon, great, ain't nobody getting down for real, man. All they gonna do is just turn into doomsday, turn to savages, man, cannibals, and all types of madness, and taking the chip. But I'm in that off right there. Shalom.